The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, I did like this one. Sure, it's not a perfect film, it does have some issues, but when it was all said and done, I was entertained and I was bored. Now, to be honest here, when I went into this movie, I was expecting a decent adventure, and that's what I got. And thankfully, there is enough in here where it did help my interest throughout its runtime. In fact, this movie is a fictionalized version of Operation Postmaster, which had actually happened in real life back in 1942. Which, ironically enough, had allegedly inspired Ian Fleming to create the character James Bond. But if you go into this one expecting it to be similar to James Bond movies, then you're going to be disappointed. I did enjoy a few things about this film: the acting, the music, the story, the action scenes. And speaking of the story, I truthfully wanted it to be a little bit better, but it also wasn't terrible either. Plus, there's also some funny moments I had enjoyed quite well, and I'm grateful they didn't go too over the top with the comedy because it would have made the whole thing feel unbalanced, in my opinion. This is a typical Guy Ritchie movie. His other works, such as Snatch or even The Gentleman, they're films where they're goofy but also serious at the same time. And that's the same case for this one here. And I have to say that Henry Cavill actually did a good job playing the main protagonist. He's getting all these other characters together and they go to fight Nazis, taking them out. And it actually leads to some very interesting fight scenes. Like, the fight scenes are fast paced and definitely is one of the highlights of this one. I also have to give credit to Isa Gonzalez. She did a good job as well playing this femme fatale. She's beautiful, but also deadly. And another actor actually that had impressed me was Alan Ritchson. Now, I knew this actor from a very long time ago. Some of the roles he's done in the past actually were goofy. But right here, he's playing badass. Like, he is efficient with a bow and arrow, or he's taking him out with a knife. I'm like, this movie, it does the job well. It's entertaining, like I said beforehand. And the thing is that I kind of wish this film was a little bit shorter. If they would have shaved off 15 minutes, then that would have been great. Personally, I don't have any main issues with this one. Sure, the story is not the greatest, and the film does have some moments where it slows down a little bit. But once the high octane action kicks in, then, smooth sailing. Now, everything about this film's great, but I will say that I had a very enjoyable time. What else can I really say? And if you're a fan of Guy Ritchie, then you're certainly going to like this one. But if you're not a fan of his work, then you probably won't like this as much because there are better action films out there that has the same concept, but, with a better story overall. And of course, better character development in those other films. At the end of the day, a film I would recommend to people to check out. And personally, I probably would watch this one again because other than some flaws here and there, I pretty much enjoyed what this one was, even though I kind of wish it ended up being a little bit better. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. Yeah, this one is a good time. It's nothing special. There are a lot of World War II movies out there that are much better. And while I would like some things being improved upon, for the most part, this is just a fun film you could just sit down and have a joyous time with. And there's my review of The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie if you have seen it. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.